I never thought a single night could shake the foundation of my marriage. My name is Mark, I'm 35 and I work in real estate. My wife, Sarah, and I had been married for 8 years. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but I always trusted her. Or at least I thought I did. That trust was shattered one Thursday evening when I came home earlier than usual from work. I walked through the door, expecting the quiet hum of our home, maybe a smile from Sarah, but instead, I noticed something off. Her car was gone. Not unusual at first, she sometimes ran errands. But then I noticed her phone on the counter, buzzing with notifications. One text stood out. Can't wait for tonight, face blowing a kiss, see you at 8. My stomach dropped. The timing, the wink, the secrecy. It was clear she wasn't running errands. I felt a wave of disbelief mixed with anger. How could she go on a date without telling me? Without even a hint? My mind raced, trying to rationalize it. Maybe it was a work event, a friend she hadn't told me about. But the tone of the message left no room for doubt. I waited, trying to control my emotions, not wanting to jump to conclusions. When she finally walked in, dressed up, smiling, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me, I couldn't contain it anymore. Sarah, where were you? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She froze for a second, then laughed nervously. Oh, just out with a friend. Nothing serious. But her laughter, her hesitation, told a completely different story. I took a deep breath and decided to stay calm. I didn't yell, I didn't accuse, I didn't storm out. Instead, I let the silence hang heavy between us, letting her realize that something was wrong. She looked at me, sensing my disapproval, but unsure of how to respond. The power had shifted, and she knew it. Over the next few minutes, I asked carefully, calmly, who were you with? What was this about? Her answers were vague, evasive, and for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. The fear of being caught, of facing consequences, of being exposed. The next day, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I replayed every interaction, every moment of the previous evening, searching for signs I had missed. My mind was a storm of confusion, anger, and hurt. I knew I had to confront her, but I also understood that losing control of my emotions would only give her an advantage. So I planned my approach carefully, calm, deliberate, and observant. That evening, Sarah came home again, and I waited for the right moment. I didn't attack or lecture. I let the tension build naturally. Finally, I spoke, my voice calm but firm. Sarah, I saw the messages. I know you went out last night. I need to understand why you felt the need to lie to me. Her eyes widened, a flicker of guilt crossing her face. She hesitated, and then she started explaining, her words tumbling out quickly, trying to justify her actions. Mark, it was just a friend. I didn't want to worry you. It wasn't a date like that. But I saw through it. Her nervous energy, the way she avoided my gaze, the tension in her voice. It told the truth she didn't want to admit. I stayed silent, letting her feel the weight of honesty. She finally confessed, revealing the full story. She had met someone she'd been chatting with online. Someone new who made her feel excitement and attention she hadn't felt in a long time with me. My heart sank, but my expression remained controlled. I realized this wasn't just about one night. It was about a growing distance, a craving for attention, and choices made without consideration for our marriage. Instead of anger, I chose clarity. I said calmly, Sarah, I need to know if this is a one-time mistake or something ongoing. I need the truth, nothing else. She hesitated, then nodded. Her eyes filled with shame. It's happened more than once. I didn't know how to stop it, and I felt trapped by my own choices, she admitted. I felt a mix of shock, betrayal, and relief. Shock at the betrayal, but relief that finally the truth was out in the open. I knew then that how I responded next would determine everything. Reacting impulsively, letting anger or humiliation take over, would only escalate the situation. Instead, I maintained calm, asking pointed questions, seeking clarity, and ensuring she understood the consequences of her actions. I needed to establish that deceit and secrecy had consequences, but also that there was a path forward if she chose honesty, accountability, and effort. Over the next few days, the atmosphere in our home changed dramatically. Sarah and I had long, honest conversations about boundaries, trust, and the future of our marriage. I stayed calm, composed, and consistent in my expectations, refusing to let emotions dictate my responses. Every time she tried to rationalize or deflect, I calmly brought her back to accountability. It wasn't easy, and it required immense self-control, but I could feel a shift in her behavior. She began to open up more, sharing her feelings of loneliness and neglect that had been festering for months. I listened without judgment, but I also made it clear that her actions had consequences. I didn't forgive instantly, nor did I pretend everything was fine. Instead, I set clear boundaries. Honesty in all interactions, transparency about her whereabouts, and a commitment to rebuilding trust. Surprisingly, she responded positively. For the first time, I saw genuine remorse and willingness to change, not just empty promises. The real turning point came when she voluntarily deleted her online accounts, admitting she wanted to focus on us, on our marriage, and on rebuilding the connection we had lost. I could feel a weight lifting, not just from her, but from me. The anger and hurt were still there, but they were balanced with a sense of clarity. By maintaining calm and composure, I had shifted the dynamic from confrontation to reflection. She realized that my peace, dignity, and boundaries were non-negotiable, and her actions could either strengthen or destroy what we had. Weeks passed, and slowly, we started to reconnect. The casual touches, the laughter, and the small moments of intimacy returned naturally. What I learned through this experience is that calmness is a form of strength, more powerful than anger, more transformative than threats or accusations. By refusing to react impulsively, by demanding honesty and accountability, I allowed Sarah to confront the reality of her choices, and in turn, gave our marriage a chance to heal. Looking back, I understand that this wasn't just about a date or a secret meeting. It was about control, trust, and respect. My calm reply of fine was the catalyst, the pivot point that forced her to face the truth. And as our relationship slowly regained balance, I realized something crucial. Sometimes, the most powerful response to betrayal isn't anger, revenge, or pleading. It's composed strength, unwavering boundaries, and letting the other person confront their own decisions. That night, when she went out without telling me, it could have ended everything. Instead, it became the beginning of a new chapter. One built on honesty, accountability, and mutual effort.